it just, and in the way it functions is even easier. And so my sister was live with me. We were just chatting. And then she was like, oh, it just shows up on your channel. It just.
Well, they said we're streaming live to YouTube, boo. Hey, YouTube. What's going on?
Chatting. And then she was like, oh, it just shows up on your channel. So we're here and I can hear myself in two places.
YouTube, boo. Hey, YouTube. What's going on? You got to take it off of YouTube, Carrie.
No, I'm sharing. I'm sharing it to Facebook, to our group.
Uh-huh.
While we're chatting. So I'm going to put it in our group. I paused it. So the cool thing is it allows me to pause it so I don't have to hear the background.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm over here looking now. Oh, subscribe. Is this the Carrie J. Little? Okay. Let's go see.
We're putting it in our real estate live group.
All righty. Hey, everybody.
Yeah,
thank you. This is Carrie and I's first duet over here on YouTube. We are used to duetting over on Facebook. However, we decided to take the show on the road and come over here to you guys on YouTube. Carrie, I'm on the wrong channel. Which one are we on?
I'm on my channel. Hold on.
What's your channel's name?
Carrie Joe Little. I'll email to
Carrie Joe Little or Carrie J Little?
I think I'm just Carrie Joe.
Okay, because I have a Carrie J Little here, but these are clearly old videos.
I mean, all my stuff is pretty much in the wrong place unless it was on my old company's
4 years ago. Carrie J Little, 4 years.
So that company I used to work for, everything was on Gmail.
Okay, so it's Carrie Joe Little.
Right. So
okay. So guys, first of all, we're just working through our struggles because we believe in trying things out to see how it works. And so we don't have any problems with being wrong. However, we did come over here with a purpose in mind, and that was to bring you some new relevant content on lead generation. Now, you know what I'm seeing? I guess I had to hit that. I'm seeing it says live, but go to video tab. Oh, okay. So people have to subscribe. And then once they subscribe, they need to hit videos. We were just at the top. I don't know where we just disappeared to. And a second ago, the video was right at the very top. So let me come back over here and look at it. Oh, right. So we're streaming right now at the very top.
And I'm tweeting, girl, I'm putting it on LinkedIn.
Excellent. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Marki Lemons-Rao, real estate keynote speaker and international best-selling author. And I'm hanging out with our host,
Carrie Little, Smart Girl Media Marketing. And I'm excited just to be on YouTube. How cool is this? I've already shared it to LinkedIn, to our Facebook group. I might as well go just share it to Facebook, right?
Might as well. So this is our first venture as a duet coming over via Zoom as a YouTube live. Our goal this week over on YouTube is Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We will be here on Carrie's channel. And then Tuesday, Thursday, we will hop over to my channel. We spent 1 week over on Facebook with Facebook Live in our private Facebook group, which is Real Estate Live. We then spent 1 week over on Instagram going live every day at 4:45, in which case we did the same thing, one day on Carrie's channel, one day on mine. And now we're coming to YouTube, and we've decided that every single day this week, we're going to share with you in detail one stream to generate leads for your real estate business. If you want to earn a 6-figure income and your average price point is $250,000, you need to add 2,880 contacts to your customer relationship management system. So Carrie and I have decided that we were going to talk about low cost free tools to teach you how to do so. So Carrie, I've talked enough.
Okay, so there's a few things I want to talk about. So I'd like to just go with predictive analytics and Remind. And then Wednesday, I'll talk about Cloud CMA, since the tool I really want to talk about isn't live until tomorrow. And I haven't had time to play with it.
Is that Remind?
So Remind today.
Let's talk about today. Remind. Okay, well, let's go on and talk about Remind today. I don't know, I'm not. Let's talk about Remind. Let's go with it.
Because I'll teach you something. Because tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
So as a real estate agent, we know we should target our sphere of influence. We should have all these pillars of ways to generate leads. But sometimes, as a new agent, the people that we know that love us, our friends, our family, high school, college, our sororities, our fraternities, people we used to work with, they don't always trust us right away. So we have to build out who we're going to target. So the reason why I picked Remind is because just like we used to use Realist, you have the ability to export leads. So say, for example, like Marki said, how many people do we need to add to our database? How many days? Every day?
2,880 over the course of a 12-month period of time.
And how
If
many is
you're,
that a day?
I don't
So
know. Well, let's do some real math. If we're going to talk about how many it is per day, then let's look at how many days a person would
really
actually
works.
work. So let's assume that you're working Monday through Friday
Right.
and that you take 2 weeks of vacation. So that would be 5 times 50. So let's go with 250 days.
Okay.
So 250 goes into 2,880. How many times?
2,000. How many?
2,880 divided by 250. That has you basically at 12 leads Monday through Friday that you need to add to your customer relationship management system
So
if
12
you want
people a
to
day.
earn. Yeah. Now, let me say this before you go farther. One thing that I've noticed about people who come into the industry and agents who are in the business, they have not created a business plan and they don't know about lead generation. I think they believe that their broker is responsible for generating leads for them. That is not the broker's responsibility. Are there companies that will give you leads? Yes, there are companies that will give you leads. However, I will tell you, the more likely a company is to give you leads, the more of your money they keep. So there's no freebies when you're an entrepreneur. And as a real estate agent, unless you are an employee, you're an entrepreneur because you're an independent contractor. So the split that you would receive should be substantially lower because you don't know how to get out here and generate your own leads.
You know what you're
The
doing.
people who generate the most leads, I can promise you make the most amount of money.
That's true. And I remember even when I started, I used to watch my managing broker and how they used to divvy out leads. And I used to be like, they're not giving me any leads.
Here's the next thing that they don't tell you in real estate, and that's the fact. I am a licensed managing broker, and Carrie is a licensed managing broker of record. We have the same license, but the roles are different. She actually manages an office. I don't. I just happen to have the license. With that being said, I am not giving my leads to my new agents. I need every lead that as a company we spend time, energy, and money to generate. I need that lead to close. And so it is not advantageous at any organization for us to give the new entrepreneur the leads. We're giving them to the person most likely to close them to ensure that we make money. Carrie, I'm sure no one has ever told that new agent that. But that's the new agent comes in, oh, I'm gonna go to this company, they're gonna give me leads. The new company provides leads. It doesn't mean you get them. And I can tell you as a 21-year veteran, I'm not giving you not a lead because you haven't shown me your ability to be able to close it. And that is not good business sense.
And I can't, I have to tell you this offline. I watch when these agents do get the leads. I sit back and I'm like, and I'm not saying that because most people are like, well, wait a minute. Well, how am I going to make an income? You got to get up, get dressed, and you have to go to work. I was talking to agents not too long ago, and I said, I get up every single morning as if I have to do business. So, Marky, did I call you yesterday? Did I call you yesterday and tell you what happened? So I
You
was
did call me. You got up and
I,
you took your butt to work. But you know what, Carrie, I think we could do here. Tell me if this is true. Can you see my calendar?
almost.
Well, guess what? Well, I'm not on my calendar yet, but this is what
Quickly.
I want people to see. Because
Take
I'm
your
pretty
time.
much an open book yet. Now I had to move this thing down.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
trying to look at us. I don't know why I'm trying to do that. So this is my quarantine calendar. Okay. This is my work life from home. Okay. This is what I'm doing quarantined. I'm in my office every morning. as if I was getting on a plane. And let's kind of go back because some of you don't know us. I am on the road 100 nights per year, speaking for real estate associations, banks, and title companies. Carrie, tell them what you do. What's your average? What's your day in the life of Carrie Little?
I almost I don't even want to share mine, but I will maybe in a little bit. So I teach probably every Tuesday and Thursday for our local MLS or our local association continuing ed. And I don't travel as much as Marki because I do have 32 agents, but at least 6 times a year I am on an airplane going somewhere to speak because I'm trying to reinvent myself because there will come a point where I need to do something else. So I'm always trying to make sure that I'm relevant in the next few years. So for me, it's usually every Tuesday and Thursday. And then in my office, which is now home quarantine office, every Monday and Wednesday is coaching with Carrie for the real estate agents in my office. So that's a day in a life, in addition to the fact of the emergency calls that happen because someone didn't watch a video and now they need me to show them how to do it.
So you created videos and people won't watch the videos to help them build their business. But continue with the digital, continue with the analytics, please.
Okay. So, and I don't really want to, I don't, I can click and show you. I'm just going to talk to you about it because if I click, you're going to want me to show you everything. And that's why you need to join us on Facebook in the real estate live group so you can go watch the how to. So I'm giving you the what and the why. So when you use tools like Remind, and you could also use RPR, you have the ability right now. And if you're watching the next 6 months to a year or 2 years, our market's going to shift. And I mean, I actually think the impact is going to happen in June for the stay-at-home order. And every state isn't like us, right, Marki? We're on we have to stay home until the end of May. And then the doors will open up and I think people will start listing. However, there's people that won't be able to go back to work. So we can use Remind right now to look for people that could end up in a pre-foreclosure based on the fact that they don't have a job. So I can look for people that have a deed in lieu of foreclosure, a list pendants. I can look for people that haven't paid their mortgage. They've had a notice of default. But in addition to that, now I can use Remind to target people that have a high sales score, a medium sales score, and they have equity. And if we look at the marketplace and look at the trends, a lot of people are looking for multifamily because people are coming back home. So I can look at, and in our marketplace, let's say an area that's dense with multi-units. So that's, closer to Chicago. If I look out in Geneva, there might be like 20. So if I look at Oak Park, I can say, all right, so I'm going to look in the city of Oak Park, Illinois, 10 minutes from downtown Chicago today, not in a few months when traffic builds up. So right now I can look for all people that have a 2 to 4 unit, they still live in the property and they don't have a mortgage, and I can target those properties and mail. I can look for people that already have a list pendants filed and I start mailing, because if they don't get hired again, now we need to get that property on the market to do a short sale. So you have the ability to start building a brand, and you can use this information to export the list. And Marki and I have talked about Facebook ads. I can start mailing, old school, traditional marketing. I can add all my social media. I can redirect people back to my Facebook groups for listing a house. So I can have a live listing presentation in a group. And then I can put them in my company drip campaign, CRM, because you get email addresses with Remind. And I can place a Facebook ad over the city. And then maybe in a few months, I can place a Facebook ad with the email addresses, because I can pretty much upload anything to Remind. I mean, Facebook.
Okay. Now let me say this. That was a mouthful.
Right.
But this is just one system. So we cater to real estate professionals. Most of them are also realtors, which means they're a member of the National Association of Realtors, regardless to if they're licensed as a sales agent, broker. In our state, we have leasing agent license, broker of record, whatever the terminology might be in the state. And this is just one system to use to help you build your business. Now, through our MLS, which is a regional MLS, I think we're one of the top MLSs in the country.
Yeah,
We
we're
have
watched nationally.
Yeah, we have a lot of great third-party tools that we use inside of our MLS. The predictive analytics to me are phenomenal. And I'm going to take Carrie and I back to undergrad and grad school, where statistics, I hated statistics. I could care less about the probability of something occurring between 0 and 1. However, when you come into real estate, or better yet, as an entrepreneur, the very first thing you're looking at is what's the probability of me selling this? Who's going to buy this pen, and the style of the pen. And some people don't like pens. Guess what they like? They like pencils, and they don't like just any pencil, right? So you
They
need to
want a colored
understand,
pencil.
right? They want a pellet pencil, and then some people prefer highlights, and then some people want to have gold ink, right? Okay, and I'm a pen person, so I could keep pulling out pens because I got packets of pens and cases of pens because I do a lot of writing. Well, with that being said, I need to understand everything potentially about the pencil, right? And who prefers the pencil, and why do people buy pencil, and when are the most pencils sold per, calendar year? Probably September, right? When children go back to
Go back to
school.
school,
Yeah,
August
I'm just gonna
or
make that
July.
assumption. So you want to know that about your market. So that's where analytics come in, and the probability of something occurring between 0 and 1. Because when you sit down, to me, in the fall of every year to plan your business for the next calendar year, you want to go in and you want to look at the numbers. To me, a lot of people in our industry pick the community they want to sell in based on emotion. I
Right.
live there, I work there.
Or I don't live there and it's luxury and all I have to do is tell 10 properties a year and I'm living large.
But I don't know anyone in the community, right? It's like me saying, just go sell in Hyde Park. Hyde Park is a community that in Chicago is the most, on the south side of Chicago, is the only nondescript community. So what I just told you was Hyde Park is the only community on the south side of Chicago that is actually integrated, right? Everything else is segregated. The rest of the Chicago south east side is black, with the exception on the far east side is Hispanic. And you can draw a line in the sand, cross the street, and know exactly who lives on what corner, okay? With that being said, in Hyde Park, you don't just enter into Hyde Park, and it has nothing to do with race or sex or occupation. It is Hyde Park looks out for Hyde Parkians, right? And I don't even know if Hyde Parkian is really even a word, right? But they look out for one another. And if you live in Hyde Park, you're good, right? If you don't live in
Right.
Hyde Park, it's kind of how they are. And so you need to understand what are these barriers that are real, but you need to understand the core, the people making the buying and selling decisions. And analytics gathers how many different sources of information, Carrie? Is it 330 uh,
In
that are pulled
Remind,
into Remind? It's
I
over
think
300
it's over 300. It's about 500.
that they're looking at in order to tell you this probability of them willing to do business with you and when they will be willing to do business with you. So yeah, Remind, I like. So let me ask you this, because we love to market, right? How is an agent going? So they never mind. You asked the question. They're going to go, and you told them how they're going to market themselves. So what would a direct mail campaign look like utilizing Remind?
Well, since you asked, since you started one way, I decided what I would do is go look at Hyde Park just to see the best house to sell in Hyde Park.
Oh, please tell me, what is the best house? Is it a house or is it a condo?
Well, I'm going to start with, see, I don't know Hyde Park, but if I thought I was going to work in Hyde Park, I would use Info Sparks and I would look at what's really selling. So anything over 4 bedrooms is sitting. Anything with 2 bedrooms or 3 bedroom is a stable marketplace. But if we look at market time, market time is between 48 and say 86 days. So if I were working in Hyde Park, now this is all properties, I would look at a 2 and a 3 bedroom. However, if I change this data and just looked at, you said a condo?
Yes.
A condo in Hyde Park it's a stable market. So if you're selling a condo with 1 bedroom or less, it's a seller's market. So right now, and I don't know what's really closing in Hyde Park, but the typical condo in Hyde Park is a 2-bedroom. But there are, if I were looking at data, there are more 1-bedrooms that are selling right now than 3. So in this order, if I were selling in Oak Park, there are
Hyde
more
Park.
2-bedrooms. Hyde Park, there are more 2-bedrooms than 1-bedrooms. However, what's the best property to sell is a 1-bedroom condo because they're moving the fastest. But the price point for a 1-bedroom or less is around 112. So if that's the case, you're going to work harder and there may not be as many.
So here's what's interesting about everything you just said. Hyde Park is home to the University of Chicago. There's a large student population in the Hyde Park area because it's only so many dorms. And we're not talking about your average student from a financial standpoint, because I do believe officially the University of Chicago is the most expensive school in the Midwest, just so that we can keep note of that. And it has a large international student population. So it means nothing for some of these students' parents to buy them a condo, because one, they'll hold on to it and rent it to the next students and it'll pay for itself. But housing is a huge cost, and it actually costs less money for the parents to buy a unit and rent it back to the children.
Okay, so I broke out the data a little more. So I broke
Okay.
it from no bedrooms, so a studio, 1-bedroom, 2, and then 3 or more. So in Hyde Park right now, as of the last 12 months, you had 53 1-bedrooms that have sold, 92 2-bedrooms, and 3 or more 79, and then you had 15 with no bedrooms. So what you just said was probably true. People are, once they buy it, they're keeping it forever, and they're probably renting them out.
And when you get above 2 bedrooms, the 2 bedrooms are split. People who just want to live in the community, might be a student, understand they could rent that one room out, and that there's no mortgage, no PI, but that doesn't mean it covers the assessments. Your 3 and more are some parents who understand the cost of the 2 bedrooms for the cost of living. So that would say that business savvy parent. But there are a lot of college professors who also live in the Hyde Park community. I'm going to venture to say most of the 3 units are occupied by employees of the University of Chicago, people who want to live on the South Side in a diverse community. That would be the mix of those units. And so Hyde Park is unique. It's its little own. It's an oasis on the South Side of Chicago, because it also has one of the largest business districts on the South Side of Chicago.
Right.
And so,
And it's affordable at 285. And if I look at homes for sale,
a million, probably a million.
285 for a condo, right? This is all condos.
All condos. No.
I'd have to go back in. But
For a single family detached home in Hyde Park, what is the
single
average
family?
cost? Oh yeah.
Hold on.
Let's go with that price point, because I can
Hold
tell
on, 'cause
you.
I gotta get rid of all of this.
I want to say average. I'm gonna say 800,000 to a million would be the average price point of a single family detached residence.
So in Hyde Park,
Yeah.
in the last, now this is, the ranges are between, they're up the highest price. Well, it's saying 750 right now is the price point in the last 12 months. Now I'd have to do a little more research because this is the entire marketplace. If I look at what happened in April, it dropped 27%. Because in 2018, April was 1.4 million. So I would probably watch Hyde Park just to see if they're being hit. But in the last 3 months, 615. But remember, there isn't a lot selling at that price point. So five single family homes closed over hold on, let me see my sales price points, over 615.
Yeah.
And if I break out this data, I'd have to do a little more research because I'm just clicking and I didn't put any custom ranges in.
So that means the price point has gone down. I would want to know why. And I would want to know, those that sold a couple of years ago, were they new construction? Because there were a series of new construction homes, and there's not a lot of land for new constructions to increase that price point.
Right now in Hyde Park,
Mm-hmm.
in the last 3 years, there were no new construction in single family that sold through the MLS, only resale.
Okay.
in the last 12 months.
Hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. I would like to see. Maybe I can move across Cottage Grove. I can I can afford. Let me say this. I'm not doing that. I have too much equity in my house, and I can get in an Uber and go to Hyde Park for $5.
So let me say this is so if I was thinking about strategy, because I've been kind of writing as you were talking. So if I were using Remind and I would take the class, if your MLS offers a class, take the class. If Remind offers a class, take the class. If there's a webinar, take the webinar, go watch the videos. So if I were looking at Remind, what I would do first is go look for the best house to sell. And I might use InfoSparks because right now, if I were looking at, say, and I'm gonna come out to, I'll go back to Oak Park. So if I were looking at Oak Park and I was looking at month supply, the first thing I would do is I would break out the data in Oak Park and I would look to see what's closing, and I would look at month supply. So in Oak Park right now, a 3-bedroom is taking 4.5 months to absorb the inventory. So a stable market. And a 2-bedroom is a seller's market. So if I look at what's closing in for single family in Oak Park, there are more 3-bedrooms and more 4-bedrooms. But if I look at the 4-bedrooms in Oak Park or more,
Are we looking at Oak Park or Hyde Park?
I'm looking at Oak Park. I pulled Oak Park just because
you're a West Side girl. I got you.
Right. Well, in addition to that, there isn't as much. Oak Park is a little bit bigger. So I wanted to make this a little more relevant. And again, I'm more familiar with, because I grew up near Oak Park. So if I looked at Oak Park and it's taking almost 7 months to absorb the inventory, and I'm a realtor in Oak Park, and now we have a stay-at-home order, what I want to do is I want to move the properties that are selling. So what I would do is I would look at attached homes and I would look at a 2-bedroom home. So right now in Hyde Park, a 2-bedroom is flying off the shelf. However, there aren't as many 2-bedroom homes in Hyde Park that have closed in the last 12 months, only 31. So if that's true, and I jump over to attached in Oak Park, a 2-bedroom and a 1-bedroom or less condo or attached is flying off the shelf. So, and that's true, a 2-bedroom attached, that's the inventory. So what I would do is I would take Remind, I would go to Remind, and I would go for, if I'm in Oak Park, I would write down, I'm going to target Oak Park, 2-bedroom condos, 1 or less condos, and 2-bedroom houses. That would be my target market, because once I put it on the market, they're moving the fastest. But then in Oak Park, I would also target 3 bedrooms and 4 bedrooms, but that would be where my listing agreements would be 6 months or more. So if you learn how to look at the numbers
Hold on.
first.
Keep talking.
Uh-oh. You walking away? All right. So Marki's going to get something. So, she's going to answer her phone. So if you were to look in Oak Park, write down 3 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, and so 3 and 2 bedroom single family, and then 2 and 1 bedroom or less attached, then you will be an agent that is still producing in the next 1 month to the next year, because once outside open backs up in our marketplace, that's what's going to sell. So here's strategy. Number 1, pick the city you're going to work in. And I recommend the cities you're familiar with. If you are a new agent, you got to start, and then you'll kind of figure it out. So pick the city. Number 2, once you pick the city, use data to determine the best house to sell. I'm using Market View or InfoSparks, owned by Showing Time. So if you're taking notes, then what I would do is I would go look for I would target the best house to sell in Remind, and I would look for homes with equity or no mortgage. I would look for homes with a high sell score. And then I would export this data and I would set up a 12-month direct mail campaign. Now, you could talk to anyone. If you talk to someone and they say, well, you should mail more than once a month. Okay, that's fine. Pick the best marketing campaign for you, but let's just go with you're going to mail once a month. And if you say, well, someone said I should mail twice a month for the first 3 months. Okay, fine. So if you mail in May, twice, if you mail in June, twice, and if you mail in July, twice, while you're starting your direct mail campaign, then what you're going to do is you're going to export this data. You're going to take that list and you're going to upload that list to your CRM. And then once you upload that list to your CRM, you're going to schedule a drip campaign to start in July.
I'm on the phone.
So then what we're going to do is we're going to go, we're going to place a
What?
Facebook ad over that city. And then
what?
Then what you're going to do is you're going to, so I muted Marki so she knows to unmute herself when she's done. So then what we're going to do is so you place your ad over that city. Then by the third month in July, you're going to start your drip campaign. So you're going to have Facebook ads running over the city and Instagram. You're going to do your direct mail campaign. So by the time someone is ready to list, you're the person they pick. So let me repeat. So Marki knows, so she can interject.
I can interject now. I thought I was muted. Okay, I'm back.
That's all right, but this is real life. This is real life today on YouTube. Oh, and you know what's cool, Marki, is when I digress, is I can copy the streaming link from Zoom and then go paste it everywhere else, which you may have already known because you could do that for Facebook. So this is what I told them to do. Pick a city, use Market View, and I'm going to say use Market View every single day this week. Pick the city, pick the best houses to sell, condo, attached, whatever, single family. Then you're going to go to Remind. You're going to pull properties based on homes with equity, maybe homes with no mortgage, based on the bedroom count and the price point. You're going to look for high sales score. You're going to export the data. You're going to start your mailing campaign. And I went with every single month, but you know, everybody has their own direct mail campaign that might work. You might mail in May twice, June twice, July twice. You're going to place a Facebook ad over that city. Then while you're mailing and your Facebook and Instagram ad, you might try LinkedIn, maybe. And then you take the list that you exported and anyone that had an email address, you're going to upload them to your CRM, and then you click the button or you start the drip campaign in July because they're less likely to unsubscribe because they've been getting mail from you since May.
There it is. Complete marketing class. Now, here's what's funny. If you go over to Real Estate Live on Facebook, we actually teach you, screen share, teach you how to do that. We have 20 social learning units already built out with screen share so that you can go in and learn from one of the 20 social learning units that we broke out. And here's the beautiful thing, Carrie, I knew I could go downstairs, open the door, let Austin in the house, and that you had it fully covered, right? You did not need me.
Oh, no.
She can, look, both of us can talk for days. Carrie, is there a way that they can ask us questions over here?
Yep, I went over to YouTube. They're tagging right now. So someone said, when is the Info Sparks class? The Info Sparks class is going to be, right now I have it scheduled in my calendar for 1 o'clock in Real Estate Live, and I'll add the link to Zoom so you can join me if you want to. I'm just waiting because I was asked to teach for an association impromptu. So it's either going to be this week or next week. But either way, I'll teach it on Wednesday, either at 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock.
Okay. What other questions do they have?
So it says, is there another system that would give you the same or similar info as Remind? So Trina, so here's your homework. I need you to figure out your tax system. You might have Realist. I need you to figure out what system you are using to get for lead generation. So figure that out, and then we'll talk again tonight. Is there a replay? Yes, you can watch this again because it'll sit here on YouTube, and I'm going to create a channel called Real Estate Live with Marki. So you can watch the replay. And then let's see. People are just saying, hey.
Hey guys, how you doing today? Thank you for joining us over here on YouTube. And here's the beautiful thing. This is our first experience over here. So let us know, how do you think we did for the first time? We just working out the kinks today. Tomorrow we should be rocking and rolling.
Right. And so, yeah, you really just need to go to Marki Lemons and she'll be live.
Yeah, so tomorrow, Marky Lemons, my name, MarkiLemons. Subscribe to my channel now so that you can be ready for tomorrow at 4:45. And then tell your friends, share us with the world, bring them on over to Real Estate Live. I know sometimes we don't like to collaborate, but what I've learned in 21 years of doing real estate is that the more people know what you know, the easier it will make your job.
Yeah, and I'd rather be working with someone on the other end of the deal that I know than someone I don't know. There is nothing. I've had agents reach out to me and say, "Hey, Carrie, I see you show my property. Are your buyers interested? Because I have someone else that's writing an offer." And that to me says it's better to collaborate because you're more likely to get the deal because they know you.
Yep, most definitely. So share the wealth, share the knowledge, collaborate, get these deals done, and we will see you every day at 4:45. Were there any last resources you wanted to give them, Carrie?
No, I don't know what you're going to talk about tomorrow. Trina, I need to see what that is. She said Monsoon is their tax system. I got questions. Um,
Hmm.
oh, do you advise us to send mailings using Remind? Let me say this. I've gone through all the steps in on Remind's system. I just never clicked to pay. But if you don't have anything else, why not just use Remind system because it's already there. There are some other tools you can use, but why
And
not?
let me say this, most if you're using those same mailing addresses, most of these mail systems are the same, like they have a lot of similarities. If the pricing is similar, I would use them because then that means you would have to export, upload to create it in another platform. And so when it comes to the direct mail, they should all be the same. Make sure you do one thing though. You add yourself to your database because then you get to gauge if it's going out, what it looks like. Do you like the weight of the direct mail piece? So always add yourself to every one of your mailing lists, especially if you're mailing through third party systems, to make sure they were delivered and it looks the way that you want it to look before you would ever order more.
Okay, so Sanina, what state are you in? If you have not seen Remind in your MLS, the questions I would have is ask your association or your MLS if they have it. I know that Remind is reaching out to every state. So reach Alabama. Let me, I have a friend that's in Alabama. Let me see. But definitely reach out and find out. I know Realist is still a good system. Whatever system you have, if you can, and you can reach out to Remind and upgrade. I do know that. I'm not saying that you should, but even if you're not using Remind, even for predictive analytics, let me say wherever you can export data, the first thing you want to do is go look at the numbers and find the best houses to list. I know what they are in the marketplaces I work in. I know the best houses to list in the city I grew up in, although it might be rare that I market there. But I can tell you right now, the best house to sell is a 2-bedroom. And if I can get a 3, they're all flying off the shelf because the community is small, like Hyde Park.
There it is, guys.
So our tip for you is subscribe to our pages, share, comment in the feed, and then tomorrow, this is kind of cool. Yeah, if Bright gives you Remind for free, go for it. I mean, take advantage of it and then go back to Real Estate Live, and I'll go make sure that you have the most recent version. I might have to train it this weekend because I think there's some major updates with Remind that you don't see. So there you go.
Sounds like a plan. Thank you for being with us today.
So Marky, do we need to take a photo?
Oh yeah, look, I probably got on the same T-shirt I had on last week this same day. But
I got my women's council.
I had to ask myself, do I want to pull out new T-shirts or do I just want to wash a load of clothes once a week and just wear the same clothes all over again? Like,
I did go to the basement looking for
yeah.
T-shirts with words. I can't lie. I did
This
go.
this is my biggest dilemma right now. Carrie, I'm going to show something to you. So what have we been doing during the quarantine, right? Other than catching up on our work. One of the things that I've been doing during the quarantine is building out my new company. Well, wrote a journal and then building out my new company. So here is one of my new products.
Can you do that? Can you say Gucci? Is that okay?
Well, I'm going to find out.
I'm just asking for a friend, like because
Real
every
estate over
time
Gucci. Look, I got it. And on the
They'll just
south
tell
side
you
of
to cease and
Chicago,
desist.
I
You'll
need,
sell
yeah,
out, and then you'll get
yeah.
a cease and desist
Well,
order
this is
like
a
a
print
realtor.
on demand, so I'm not carrying any inventory. So real estate over Gucci. Yeah, what you know about that?
I'm
Look,
trying to think.
well, let me show you a better one then.
How
Let me show
about
you
real
another.
estate over Louis?
Well, I could do Louis.
But you carry it.
Yeah, yeah, all the time. So then I'd have to be very specific about when I'm gonna wear it.
Yeah, I like that one.
Ask me how to invest in real estate.
You have anything with the word realtor on it so they can come after you?
Yep, I surely do.
Because
And
they had a cease and desist order for the gym shoes that somebody had selling.
oh, those really? So then this is another one, but you can put whatever name that you want to put there. So that's Marki, that's Nick. And then just to give you a version of it, that's Zeke. And let me see, I do have a realtor one, but I think that I followed the rules and regulations on how I presented it, because you get to use it to state what it is that you do. So I have one that's a fill in a blank where people can type in whatever they want because it's
that's the way to do it.
personalized. But we'll talk. I'll call you offline because I need to share something with you anyway.
Okay, so follow us everywhere. Instagram, join us in, it's actually facebook.com/group/real estate live. Follow us and LinkedIn. And the reason why I shared us to LinkedIn, Marki, I'll tell you in a little bit. But join us on LinkedIn. And you have a class coming out. I have a class coming out. And again, the class that I was teaching on Saturday to the agents in the office generated a lead. So you got to watch me on Facebook. All right. Let me make sure I don't have any other questions over here. I recreated a whole new business plan after watching your webinar, Marki. All right. That's Ty Pearson.
Hey, Ty, you know what I just created? And I'm going live with it on Saturday. Actually, a group called Quarantine. I'll make that available. I have how to pivot during a quarantine because I've created a new the social selling journal, and launched a full print on demand company while being quarantined. So we'll talk about how I did that.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, everyone. So we got to figure. So Sanina, check out I think it's Alabama. You need to figure out if they have Remind. Trina, find out about Remind in Arizona. Everybody needs to do research. And if you guys don't get involved, your associations and MLSs will not upgrade. It's up to you.
Thank you.